Welcome back to the Tarqaron podcast, the podcast where we talk about all the latest news in technology. And we're going to break it all
we
down.
don't do
The
it.
newest
We
Apple
don't do
product.
that.
We just heard
We
in a
don't.
new conference.
Did they? I don't know.
It's called the Apple
We don't.
Snatch.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
The
All right.
Apple, is that a thing? Is
No.
that really a thing?
No.
Oh, okay. You could have sold me. You could have sold me down the river with that. I don't know.
No. Only
You
the
hear
most
that
valid
Apple?
news here.
Okay. You hear about the Apple Snatch? It steals other people's phones if they're using an
Steals
Android.
other people's data.
Yeah.
And
It just.
we're okay with it.
Yeah.
So.
We're cool. We're cool with that.
The Tarqaron podcast is just a podcast where we shoot the shit, and that's what I've always been about my whole life. Shooting the shit is what I come to do. We talk about anything
Pretty much.
in the latest time. I mean, it was a monthly podcast. It's not now. It's kind of whenever, F it type vibes. But
yeah, we just do it whenever we feel like just talking, just vibing, you know.
So catching up.
But
Tarqaron is a YouTube channel in which the Tarqaron podcast is hosted. But Tarqaron itself is not a podcast. This is the Tarqaron podcast.
This had to be stated. I can't believe it took, I don't know, we're like, 15 episodes in, and it took us this long to state that?
Tarqaron, we talk about movies, video games, TV, random shit, and Survivor every week. And we have put out a ton of content, over 700 videos at this point.
Jeez, so, that's a lot of videos. That's a lot of videos, Zach.
Wow.
Whoa.
So we'll touch on some random. We'll touch on some topics. We'll touch on a random topic or two, completely random from a list, inspired from way back when we did Chaos Month, where we completely randomized everything we talked about. We want to take a little bit of that with us, I think, a little random element.
So, a little chaotic energy with us, yeah.
We got that, and then at the end of every podcast, we talk about comments since the last one. And we do a quick reflection on the videos we released since the last one, which obviously the list just gets greater and greater the longer we take to do an episode.
Yeah. It's been a few months since we have done an episode here, so.
Right.
Since January? We did one in January, so.
We might have.
Well, we did. We definitely did, because that was that was our New Year's resolution.
How's that going, by the way?
Not great. Not great. Actually, no. Not terrible. It's going okay.
Really?
The reason that I say that is because one of the game, I've been working on playing. Well, we have our Gents challenge going on right now, so that's putting a big wrench in some things. But I was playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I kind of no-lifed it on weekends for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because my brother, as I explained in that past episode, my brother got me tickets for the Rebirth concert in Boston. Well, that happened. That happened 2 weekends ago now. It happened. Whoa. And did I beat Rebirth in time? No, I didn't.
Hell yeah, brother.
I got very close. I got to chapter 13 out of 14. I was probably about 4 to 6 hours to the end of the game.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I haven't gone back to it since that weekend is because I've been spending my time playing Hollow Knight for the Gents Challenge. So, and that's been fun. I'm having a good time with that. So, but my plan is I'm actually going to probably go back. I specifically made a save in a place that I knew I could then go back. I was like, okay, if I can't beat the game, I'm gonna save here, so I still have time to go back and do all the quests that I skipped over because I was trying to rush through towards the end. So I'm probably going to go back to that other save, and then I'll be like, okay. Because I maybe only got 3 or 4 hours past that. I mean, maybe not even that, honestly. Past that point, and then I can go back, do all the quests, a bunch of side quests and things that I wanted to go do, wanted to sort of turn back and take a look at, and then beat the game in my own time. So I'll probably be done that game sometime in the middle of April.
Yeah, I mean,
and
if you go back to our last podcast, though, if you go back to our last podcast that we recorded, yeah, you can see what we're talking about. We have a gaming goal that we challenged ourselves to, where we each made a list of 10 games to finish, and also 5 games for the other person to finish. You get 2 points for finishing one of the 5, 1 point for finishing one of the 10, and whoever has the most points at the end of the year will be crowned the best gamer. Tarqaron's best gamer.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So far neither of us have finished any games.
No, I have not. No, because I've been no-lifing
We're a
that
quarter
pretty much.
into the year. We're a quarter into the year.
Not quite a quarter in. We're like partway into a quarter in. Yeah. At the end of the month, we'll be a quarter in.
Yeah.
So.
The Gents challenge has been going on, and it's not looking good for me. It's getting dire straits. I've put about 10 hours into Skies of Arcadia Legends, which, according to how long to beat, gives me approximately 30 hours left, with, at the time of this video, about 10 days left, a little over 10 days. So I have to...
That's tough.
Basically, I have to play 3 hours every day to be on pace.
That's going to be tough.
With no hope of Supreme. Which is unfortunate because I had a Supreme streak going on between all the different challenges. I had gotten Supreme the last several. And so the best I can hope for is Gent, and that's a very uphill battle. Yeah. And that's just how it shakes out sometimes, because I wish if I just had a shorter game, I would have been able to cruise in there. But now I'm in a pickle here. And I also had previously promised my brother... Because he was like, I'm not sure which game I'll start with. I was like, we'll start with Bug Fables, and I'll start with Skies of Arcadia Legends. And that's our pact. So while like Kingdom Hearts Reaching in Memories is technically, it's not as long, I'd have a better shot at probably beating that. I got to stick it out. I live or die with the skies. So, we'll see how it goes.
Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah. I know Blink, our other... person we had in the Gents challenge video, he's finished his, so he's finished one, so he's locked in as a Gent.
Yep at the very least. So yeah, I've been making some steady progress with Hollow Knight. I'm not like super far into it, but man, that game's such a vibe. It's very enjoyable. I've really been enjoying my time with it so far, and so I feel pretty confident I'll be able to beat that by the end of the month. But yeah, so I was able to beat Rebirth in time for the concert, but I will definitely be finishing it this year, because I'm gonna go back to it pretty much after the Gents challenge is done. And the concert was amazing. I mean, I had a fantastic time, and me and my friend Tara. And we had a really good time, and I had to close my eyes for the last like 15-20 minutes of the show because it was all the final boss like stuff, and I was like, nope. I know I played the original game, I played it, and but I don't want this spoiled because I know there's going to be different stuff that's going on here at the end. But music's very good. All the final like boss music and stuff is really great, so I'll give you that.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I was gonna say, Hollow Knight was not on your list for the year, right?
No, I was just going through it again with some people.
So at least
we're talking about it. And Hollow Knight is not.
If I beat Skies of Arcadia Legends, and you beat Rebirth, we'll be pretty even. We'll be even. It's not like because if you get Hollow Knight also. At least that's not one of yours. It was one of the few ones on your list that wasn't from this gaming goal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but it ended up being in there, so.
Well, Skies of Arcadia Legends, I'm enjoying it. I like the vibes. It's dated in some ways, and to be honest, the most egregious thing for me is something I knew about it going into it, and that's the random battles that you constantly run into.
I've heard the random battles in that game are pretty insane. That the encounter rate's pretty rough. So
that's rough for me, but
yeah,
I genuinely like it. It's gonna be tough if I have to cram it into this last a little over a week, a couple weeks, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I really would have. If I just paced it better, it would have been good. It's just one of those things, like, I remember at the end of last year, I had beaten so many games, so I was content with the amount I beat. I was like, I just beat games now. Now I pick up a game and I actually see it through. It's just what I do. And I was like, I'm a changed man. But now I'm finding myself falling back again. and I've only beaten one game so far, and that's DreamWorks All Star Kart Racing. And
well, I think one of the reasons for that though is because you've been watching so many movies, though, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm big on movie kick now. Like that's been my obsession now. So it's kind of like once I'm infatuated with one thing, it kind of takes precedence. But it's
you got to prioritize one thing at a time, I guess. You can't. Hard to do it all at once.
I've been watching a lot of movies. Yeah, as of this video, I've watched 39 movies this year for the first time.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And last year, for the entire year, I watched 53 was my total. So
wow,
I'm already almost there. And yeah, my goal for the year was 50, like for this year, because I was content with the amount I watched. I wasn't like I need to watch a ton more. I was content with it. But now I've just been having fun, watching like a movie, like several movies a week. Ton of really good ones. The first couple months was spent a lot on preparing for the Oscars in March, because I made a mission for myself to watch all the Best Picture nominees, as well as all the Best Animated Feature nominees, and then all the acting categories at the very least. And so that ended up being most of the categories nominees, except for the documentary ones, the shorts ones, and then a couple outliers like Gladiator 2, Alien, Romulus, a couple like those, but for the most part, it was nice. Like, I'd never watched an award show knowing most of the nominees. Usually I know one or two. I think that's most people with most award shows, because they're usually not the most mainstream ones. They're usually more harder to get, or like less accessible movies often too. Some limited release and not like huge $100 million movies. Like I think Nora ended up being like $18 million, which was like good for what it is, but it's not whatever Dune Part 2 got, or Wicked.
Right.
So completely different level, but it was enjoyable watching Oscars, actually having a horse in the race, rather than being like, well, I like this person, but I don't know any of the other people, or I don't know any of the other movies. So it was fun. I did videos on my channel, Zach Archer TV.
You've been kind of popping off on that too. You've been making videos on that. I've been watching them, and it's good stuff. I like hearing you talk through stuff you're doing and watching, and thoughts and all that on things. So
yeah, so I don't know when exactly it was. It might have been between since the last podcast. I made the Zach Archer Games channel and Zach Archer TV. And in Zach Archer Games, you'll notice is not as active because I haven't been playing as many games.
Right.
So Zach Archer TV is where most of the stuff's been going on. I'll talk about reality TV and movies, everything in there. But that's been fun. I did a video where I ranked all the movies I watched from the last month. That was fun to do. It's a fun way to just like talk about them. It's an excuse to talk about them in a specific order, but it's fun. So yeah, I naturally was forced to watch a ton of movies early in this year, trying to catch up for that. And then I just kept it going. I was watching a bunch of movies from previous years, previous award nominated movies, and just random ones. Like I'll go in Letterboxd whenever I see a movie that I want to watch. I'll just add it to my watch list, and then I'll go to my watch lists whenever it's time to watch a movie, and I'll pick one out. So I have a lot that I've been going through. It's been fun.
That's good. Yeah, I've seen some movies recently. I know I've seen probably at least a couple movies you haven't seen. Like I went and saw Captain America, the new one.
Yeah.
It was not very good. Like I didn't hate it, but it's just kind of like nothing. Like it was just sort of a nothing movie to me. It was dull and pointless, and it kind of about sums up the state of the MCU right now. I think like the only gleaming glimmer of hope in that whole thing, for me at the moment anyway, is the Fantastic Four movie that's going to be coming out this summer. So that's the only project that I'm really looking forward to.
Even Spider-Man's on high alert. I don't know what they got cooking over in Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, apparently they hadn't even started making the sequel to Across the Spider-Verse or whatever, or which it was billed as like a 2-parter. It was going to be Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 and 2.
Okay.
And then so the first one ends in like a pretty huge cliffhanger, and I was like, oh, okay, well, great. Well, the next one's supposed to be out next summer, and then it like turns out like it was like, oh, they hadn't even like it was only in pre-production or something. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? There's been like all kinds of weird stuff going on behind the scenes with those movies, I guess. So
well, I haven't watched either of those yet, but I'm talking about
those are very.
I was talking about Spider-Man 4.
Oh, 4? Spider-Man 4? Well, I guess
Sadie Sink.
Sadie Sink is going to be in it. Yeah.
What's happening? Okay. Are they dumping Zendaya? Is that what's happening?
I doubt it. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
I heard. I didn't read official articles. I just heard that it was like reported she's going to be Mary Jane in Spider-Man.
I mean, that's the easy thing to say because she's got red hair. So
yeah. But
I don't know.
They can't do this.
There could be some weird multiverse stuff going on. I don't
know. I mean, we need to break into another multiverse.
More of that. More multiverses. More multiverses. I also went. I went and saw Mickey 17 as well.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that too. I wanted to watch both of those. I just haven't been able to. I saw you didn't rate it very highly on Letterboxd.
I was extremely let down by that movie. Extremely let down.
That
might have been the most. That might have been the most disappointed I've ever been watching a movie. Like I'm gonna be honest. I just had nothing but high expectations. The trailer looked amazing. Bong Joon-ho. I love Parasite. I saw this and I did not get what I was expecting at all, and I didn't like it very much at all. I don't want to get into many spoilers, but I thought it was going to be doing one thing with some sort of prescient social commentary. Was not. It was this other thing, and I did not like what I got because it was just very, very dumb and uninteresting. And I get there's a lot of people that love it. If you loved it, good for you. I did not vibe with it. And even as a sci-fi, even as just a sci-fi film, I thought it was really it was super pointed out and obvious and it didn't do anything to me. It didn't do anything interesting with the premise, and I didn't really like it, and I was very let down. So I want to go see. I'm gonna go see Novocaine instead because that looked like a lot more fun, and I love Jack Quaid, so I'm hoping that movie doesn't let me down.
I mean, but I don't know. I've heard mixed things on Mickey 17. Some people like it, some people really don't. But I wonder if I would have the same opinion or not. But I don't know. No idea what it's about, really. But
I feel like you might like it. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really love it all that much. I don't want to get into too much detail. You can check out my Letterboxd review if you really want to know what I feel. I marked it as spoilers because I know Zach can see it, and I also like talk about the plot a little bit in it too. So I was just like, we'll close it off.
The Chronolink 9 on Letterboxd.
Chronolink 91.
I have a link below my link tree has all my tracking shit. Letterboxd. Yeah, I do a Letterboxd review for everything.
I don't get any of that, but yeah, there's some stuff that I'm snoozing on Letterboxd on. There's some movies that I watched like around Christmas and stuff that I didn't record.
I know there's a big chunk that you're missing in there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm even missing some stuff that we reviewed for the channel. I try to be really good about that, but there's some stuff I forget about. So
well, these tracking websites have just been very good for me to keep track of, like literally just keep track of stuff because. Like I'll have an ongoing ranking after every movie I watch throughout the year. I'll just add it to the ranking, and that makes it easier when I wrap up at the end of the year with everything. And then it's just become like secondhand for me now. Whenever I watch a movie, I'll go on Letterboxd right after, or soon after, and I enjoy it. So do Letterboxd for every movie.
Well, I know there's going to be something that I'm going to be watching soon. That you won't be watching or reviewing likely anytime soon. And
that's fuckface pussy sucky tits. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like the most crazy thing. I don't think you'll be reviewing this anytime soon, but it's graphic sex number 15.
I was like, wait, I'm just reviewing porn now or something?
Yeah.
What is this? What are you talking
So you
about?
don't think you'll be reviewing it. So I'm like, okay, it's crazy.
No, I don't think you'll be. Well, no, it's just because it's. So I'm going to be watching. I finished recently. I've been watching.
It's the 15th in its series, after all.
Yeah, I finished multiple times. I no the. So I've been trying to watch. I've been trying to be a little bit better in terms of watching anime. So I'm like trying to catch up a little bit on some older stuff that I've neglected. So I started watching Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World. It's a comedy isekai. So think like isekai is like the genre where it's like, oh, what guy gets like transported to another world. This one is like making fun of all of the tropes of isekai. It's also like the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia of anime.
Okay.
Is like a pretty good way to compare it because all of the characters are horrible people. And you love seeing them suffer because it's very entertaining. Because they get what they deserve most of the time. So I've been greatly enjoying it. I'm like partway through the second season of that now. Seasons of that are pretty short, so only like 10. They're only like 10 episodes or 11 episodes or something. So that's been fun. I've been watching Twin Peaks as well. I actually just finished the second season of Twin Peaks. The first time I've throughout my life I watched like the first season of Twin Peaks like probably about three times now, and I got like partway through the second season. On my second watching of it, I got like partway through the second season. And watching it again just recently, I didn't realize how far into the second season I was. I was like 15 episodes into the second season or something, and there's 22 episodes in the second season, and as opposed to the first season, which only has 8. And it's great. I mean, it's a great show. I mean, I can't really say anything more about. I mean, like, I can go into like a lot more detail on it. I think it's a wonderful show. I think the second season is not very good in a lot of ways, in particularly after they decide to, due to studio pressure or network pressure, they were like, you need to solve the mystery, you need to solve who killed Laura Palmer. And so they're like, okay. And so they force an answer, because the whole point of the show was not going to be answering that. They were never intending to answer that question when they were making the show. It was because that's not actually what the point of the show is. The point's not discovering that. The point is, let's look into the lives of all these people in Twin Peaks, and everybody's got secrets. Everybody's got these little mysteries, and it's sort of like playing with horror tropes. It's playing with soap opera tropes, and it's kind of making fun of those, and kind of like it has this weird oddball tone as well at the same time. It's very strange. And then there's just like a very dream-like quality to everything. It's not just the fact that like there are dream sequences in it, but it's like the whole just general vibe of the show almost feels like a dream at certain periods of time. It feels like just the way it's shot, the music, it's just very overwrought and saccharine, and I love it. It's a great show. Second season's got some rough patches, but the finale was bonkers, and also ended on like 15 cliffhangers. And from my understanding, a lot of them get resolved in the third season that came out, Twin Peaks: The Return. Not all of them do, which I think is interesting, but also kind of goes on that just sort of is the nature of everything. But before I watch that, I'm going to be watching Twin Peaks: Firewalk with Me, which is the prequel film that they made like a couple years after the show got canceled. So I'm going to be doing that, watching that first before I go on and watch season 3. Season 3 is like, I think that's like 19 episodes or something. And people also generally will say that they actually called this third season of Twin Peaks a film. I've heard some people refer to it as a movie. It is a 19-hour long movie, basically, which is daunting. But I'm very excited because people hold it in very high regard, more so than even like the first two seasons of the show, and that's kind of I'm very much looking forward to it because I know that I'm the audience for it because I really liked Twin Peaks. I think it's great. It's a great show. So yeah, I mean, I've been watching that. I'm still kind of like crawling my way through Better Call Saul. I kind of put it on hiatus here and there because I don't want to rush it, and I also want to be like, again, I'm trying to juggle a lot of different things here at once. So,
yeah, I have my show rotation that it's been kind of on the back burner too. I've just been all in on movies.
Yeah,
just like because at my work was just like downtime. I'm able to watch like that's how I'm able to get through a lot of movies. And even then, I'm always like, I should watch at least an episode of this rotation every time. But I just always am like, I'd rather watch a movie now. So that's just what I've been doing. Even with how many movies I'm watching, I haven't been watching a lot of the new movies. I've only watched one that came out in 2025 so far, and that's One of Them Days. That's the Keke Palmer. It's a Keke Palmer and SZA like duo movie. So
okay,
it's like a comedy. It's pretty funny.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, none of it, like Captain America wanted to see it, and Mickey 17 wanted to see it, but none of them are like, oh, I need to see it. As far as the movies that have been out so far this year, they haven't been super interesting to me.
But yeah, there hasn't been anything that's like I need to see that, because like the only stuff I saw was like Nora, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that technically came out last year, but I wanted to see it. It wasn't really out anywhere until Oscar season around me, so. But,
yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I saw I'm Still Here in theaters this year because I could not find it anywhere before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my goal was to try to keep on pace with the new releases, like the really good new releases at least, so that I can like not have to do all my catch up at the end of the year, because I'd like to be able to watch all the nominees again, but then hopefully have watched a good amount of them by the time it comes up.
Right.
But we'll see, because yeah, some of them you have to really look for, like these limited releases you might have not even known came out this year. It's usually what ends up happening at award season.
That's why I'm kind of happy that I live kind of close to an art house theater. But it's kind of an interesting thing because it's both a college town theater, so they do play some like really big blockbuster stuff, but then they also they'll play the art house stuff. They had The Brutalist and Anora and I'm Still Here. They showed all of those. They showed like all the whole Oscar slate basically. So
yeah.
I appreciate having a theater like that very close by.
I realized only recently that I had one. It was like 45 minutes away, so it's a bit more out of the way, but nothing crazy. I don't mind taking a trip over there. They got nice reclining seats, which I don't have in my usual one. But
the art house experience is very nice, though. I like it a lot. I mean, the other theater near me, they have like the nicer seats technically, but you know, the vibes are always a little different there. If you have more people in the theater in that one, there's likely to be a little bit more energy. Yeah. And I mean that in a negative sense. Mm-hmm. But the art house theater, everyone is always just like perfectly, very respectful.
So classy.
It's always like it's very classy. It's always grown adults going in there, or like college students that are not either there to make out in the back and not make a lot of noise, or there to actually enjoy the movie. So
we're fucking the front. You know, you get.
I could get a double. I could get a double show. That's all I'm saying. You know, if anyone wants to come do that, I mean,
hell yeah, brother.
That might be weird if I don't know if like Toy Story or something is playing. I'd be a little off put by that. It's like
you got a friend in me.
Can you stop doing that? I'm trying to watch Toy Story. Can you stop?
I went to see Toy Story in theaters, and then this couple was having sex up front.
Couple was
They literally had a friend in them.
Can you? That's so wild to me that if anyone actually would go and do that, why?
It was wild, almost as if I've never heard of it happening ever. But
I feel I had to. It has to have happened.
Front, it can't last long.
It has to be. It has to. Oh, in the front? No, that's weird.
That's what I'm saying, in the front.
Oh, okay.
Definitely, it's happened.
Yeah. Oh, it's 100%. It has to have happened.
Always.
I love the
It's probably like every time you like. What's the saying? Every time an angel gains its
every
wings?
time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Yeah, someone's having sex in a movie theater.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. Well, there is they talked about that on there's a Best of the Worst, Red Letter Media. There's like one time they're watching a movie, Chopping Mall, and because like a bunch of people that are working at the mall, they like stay overnight to have sex in the furniture store.
Awesome.
And they were like, man, you have a whole mall at your disposal, and you just like, let's just go have sex on the couch or whatever.
Yeah.
And then one of them brings up like, oh, it's like, do you think anyone's ever had sex in a toy store? And like two of the people, and who were almost certainly the two that had worked retail, were like, yes. They're like, wow, you didn't even have to think about that. They're like, yes, 100%. They had to like.
This was probably a previous podcast too.
It probably was a previous podcast. I brought that up. Yeah, but I'm not gonna fuck him in a TB Toys.
So, to briefly touch on the Oscars and how it went, it was an Oscars. There was a sweep for Anora. Multiple Anora wins.
Yeah.
Which just happened. We lucked out. That's the one that we reviewed for the channel, at least. But
I wasn't even necessarily expecting it to sweep like that. It was kind of impressive. So,
best picture, best editing, it felt like kind of like a down the ballot vote for that because I really.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree with editing. I guess I don't know if I don't think I watched the other movies. Hold on, was Dune Part 2 in that?
I don't think so.
Best editing?
I don't know.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that per se, but
so for me, I had for best editing, I had different ones almost for all the categories. Like I had Anora for best picture, best editing. I said Conclave. I think that's the best editing of the options, like purely editing. Best director, I think is deserving for Sean Baker. I personally would have gone Corley for the Substance, but I think, while I probably slightly prefer Anora maybe to the Substance, I just think direction-wise, there was such a strong direction in the Substance that would have been cool.
Yeah.
And then best actress was Mikey Madison.
That's extremely deserving, I think. Though I will say that was a very competitive category.
Very competitive category, and I think it's tough because like almost all the others would have won in a previous year, with less competition. Demi Moore, it was always between her and Mikey Madison going through this award season. Who was it going to be?
Yeah,
and I think both were very deserving, but I personally had Mikey Madison slightly with the edge. And Fernanda Torres was also awesome. And Cynthia Erivo was awesome, but it's hard with a movie like Wicked. It's going to be hard to win a best acting category, really. Right.
Yeah, that was kind of too bad with Ariana Grande not getting the lock for supporting actress because she was pretty spectacular in that.
She was awesome. That was my pick. Haven't seen all the others too. I was like, Zoe Saldana. She won for Amelia Perez, but and people were always saying, even the people that hated Amelia Perez were like, well, she's the one good thing from the movie. It's like, I thought she was okay, but I never really got the hype for that performance even. I still thought Ariana Grande should win there, but it's whatever. That was one of the awards, unfortunately, where we all knew it going into it because she had won all these awards leading up to it.
The SAG and everything else, right?
Same
SAG
with,
and Golden Globes.
Yeah, BAFTA, whatever else.
Yeah, BAFTA.
Kieran Culkin was the same thing. He won all the awards leading up to it. There was no like suspense on who would win.
Fantastic Oscar speech in
Yeah,
his regard. Really good.
He's one of the best. Probably the best speech of the night.
Yeah, so Sean Baker's speech is also really great. I will say, I saw Mickey 17 in a completely empty theater in this art house theater.
Yeah,
and they played that Sean Baker speech ahead of it, and I found that kind of unfortunately extremely chilling. I was like, this is going on while they were playing it. I literally like craned around and looked around, and I was like, I'm alone in here. This is sad.
There's one channel I follow for box office news and stuff, and it was like the week after or a couple weeks after he sent me that speech. It was like the lowest box office since COVID.
It was.
So it was cool.
It was rough. It was rough. Novocaine had a really rough start to the box office.
It was a really low start, and that was the number one of the week. So
yeah,
it's ironic.
That's sad. I want to go see it. I hope maybe some word of mouth can help it survive a little bit, but because the budget of that's not tremendously high, so I'm hoping it at least make its money back. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll see it and I'll hate it, but I like Jack Quaid a lot, so that's why I kind of am sort of saying that.
But Kieran Culkin's really good in A Real Pain, and
yeah, I need to see that. That's one movie that I really want to watch a lot. That and The Brutalist are probably like the two big.
Yeah,
my two big ones I haven't seen.
Adrian Brody is awesome in that movie. His speech was really bad, but.
But that's the thing. Is this? I want to watch it not just for him, but for the movie. Because talking to you, you're like cinematography, and that's amazing. I was like, oh, okay, this is a movie for me. Really this is my kind of
and the score
kind of movie.
And the score,
and the score too.
It won best score. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I personally was like, I kind of pulling for Conclave as the score.
Yeah.
I think you really liked the score to that too.
Yeah, so. I brought up to my dad that you were watching all the Oscar contenders, and he mentioned he was like, oh, that he mentioned Conclave, and I was like, I'm kind of interested in seeing it. I know you said stuff that you didn't like about it, but I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of interested in it, and he was like, oh well, even my dad, my 70-something-year-old dad, it was just like, well, you can watch it. Go ahead, enjoy it. Not that he's giving me permission, but it's just sort of he's just like, yeah, no, maybe just not my taste, but you can make up your mind. You can critique it your own way. So I was like,
the more I reflect on the movie, the more I like it. Though I think it's a really good movie. The ending was just it was weird. I mean, it didn't bother me, but it was it just didn't make sense narratively to me. It wasn't as satisfying as it could have been, but.
I'm not even sure if it's only the ending that they didn't like, because he sort of talked about it there. He seemed to maybe kind of even have a problem with other parts of parts of it too. So,
but something I often hear praised about Conclave is that it doesn't really make a statement one way or another, pro religion, anti religion. It kind of you just see these men and how they.
And I think I appreciate that, because that's sort of the thing that's always interesting from So obviously I'm a religious person, but I've always found that's one of the reasons that I liked Nora a lot, because that was very it didn't tell you how you're supposed to feel or think about the subject matter, really. It kind of let you sort of feel along with the characters and kind of make up your own decision. It's non-judgmental look at things. So I really like when films do that. They're very hands off. They're like, this is what's going on. Because the thing is the decision when it comes to papal decisions, deciding who the new pope is, when it comes to conclave, it's a secretive process in a lot of ways, but what we know about it is a very political process. There's a lot of vying for votes and backstabbing and there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we're not really necessarily always privy to.
Yeah,
I'm not even Catholic, but that's that's an interesting thing that and knowing that the acting pedigree that's there, I'm just
Oh yeah,
Probably
there's
be a
some great ones in
pretty
there.
good movie. Yeah.
The fun, most enjoyable way I have of viewing it now is just like, it's like almost like it's a very serious take on a reality competition show. It's the funniest way to.
You said that, and I think that honestly made me want to watch it more. Like
It's the
that was
funniest
such an
lens. And I
interesting way
remember
to.
seeing like some
Yeah.
letterbox reviews, like these messy queens, they are spilling. Is there because they're just like literally, it's like they're strategizing and like trying to get the votes and like doing these little
Yeah.
underhanded tactics here and there, and then just twists and turns, and you know, so it's cool. It's cool. Great editing and great score, performances. But yeah, so I also wanted to mention that we have this new thing we're gonna try out on the channel where we're gonna. Previously, a few years ago, we did the season of giving, where we each picked 2 movies for the other to watch, that like we had already seen ourselves and enjoyed, and that was fun. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do it regularly now, where we're gonna like alternate each month. One of us picks a movie for us to review, and it'll probably usually be one that one of us enjoys and wants to share with the other. But it could just be a movie that we've been meaning to review and want to review that neither of us have seen or whatever. But
Yeah, it could be any like that. We will instead of leaving it up to the wheel to decide, we'll just do it ourselves. We can do that. We don't have to let everything be random.
And the wheel will be around too, so.
And the wheel will be around still. Absolutely.
But,
we're not getting rid of that. We're not scrapping that.
This is a way, because I just, especially since I've been watching so many movies and so many very good movies, I'm like, counting so many, like, man, this would be a good review. And it's like, well, that's just never going to happen. It's never going to naturally come up. There's so many of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some weird ones that we might not have picked. And so I think it's cool. And it also will artificially inject more high quality movies into our system as well, because the way we do things with our randomized series is it tends to lean towards the other way. It usually is mediocre to not as good. You know, it's rare that you get good ones. And then we'll watch like certain new releases we'll latch onto, though often they tend to be like stuff like live action Disney remakes, which aren't great either. You know, a Minecraft movie coming up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but it's a tough decision for me considering I've watched like almost 50 movies in this short span of time, and there's so many good ones. Right. I'm like, because I'm looking at a lot of the Oscar nominated movies, potential picks for us to review. And there's still ones like lingering from before, like Knives Out. I still think would be fun to review, stuff like that.
Yeah, because I still haven't seen it. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to decide, and it'll be fun though.
We'll see. Yeah. We shall see.
Yeah. Also worth noting, Best Animated Feature, Flow won that. Right. It's kind of an upset victory over The Wild Robot.
Right.
It's a big win because it's like not only is it a small independent studio from a different country won Best Animated Feature.
Right.
It won it over a big studio in DreamWorks.
Right.
And it didn't just win over a big studio in DreamWorks on like some Boss Baby type movie.
Yeah.
It was like people are saying it's maybe the best DreamWorks movie ever. You know, it's like some of the best DreamWorks has ever done.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
And it's still one of that. So.
And it's crazy too because I think that was animated primarily in Blender, which is a free program.
Yep.
So it's cool. Like it's everything about that winning is just like a champion of if you have a dream and passion and put a lot of hard work into what you're doing, you can achieve greatness. Like that's like that is like the dream right there. That's pretty stellar. So yeah, I've been meaning to watch Wild Robot and Flow. I've been told by multiple. My brother has seen the Wild Robot a couple of times now, and he and his wife are like, you need to watch it, and get a tissue box ready because they got hit pretty hard by it apparently. So
it's amazing.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that, and then I'm looking forward to Flow because I remember seeing a trailer for it, and I was like, whoa! I was like, I remember just being kind of like blown away by like, this looks so unique and different, and there's no dialogue. It's just music. I was like, whoa, this looks. What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I heard it was like an independent made in Blender, and I was like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll say those two are two of the ones I'm definitely considering as the one we could review next month. It's just so tough, just so many options, but those are two that would definitely be good reviews. They're both amazing, I think, because it's just crazy. Like, DreamWorks were pissed. It's like, we got this killer, like, so the best shit we've done, and we lost out to this little cat, independent cat.
Mm-hmm.
Independent cats have good success, video games.
Not the Garfield movie though. Apparently that didn't have independent success. Didn't have great success.
No. But all right, I mean, fun stuff on the horizon. We'll see what we end up reviewing, and we also have like tons of stuff just slated naturally. A week from now we're gonna be reviewing the live action Snow White.
Right,
and like we mentioned, a couple weeks after that is the Minecraft movie. So brace yourselves.
Yeah.
There's no way that's good. That's like, there's some movies that go in that's like, maybe it's good. It's probably not, but there's an off chance it's good. I just feel like there's no reality in the way that's good. And
well, when you look at the toys,
the
toy lines that they've released from that, I showed you that and I was like, this is like dystopian. It's just Jack Black in a blue sweater. Like, that's all the figure is. That's all it is. He's got beer belly and everything. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, it's different when you sit down to watch a movie knowing that it is 100% going to be bad. It's a different experience. A different headspace. But that's what I'm already there for. Like, I just can't imagine being like, I think it caps at a 5 out of 10 already.
I think that's kind of what I'm saying. There's my friend Josh works in auto parts, and there was one guy that he works with, and he's like the only person that he's heard of. He's a grown man who was like, yo, I saw the trailer for the Minecraft movie. I thought it looked great. And Josh told the rest of everyone there, and I don't think they've let him hear the end of it since he said that like a month ago. That he thought it looked, that he unironically thought it looked good. Just like, nah, you're getting bullied for that for a while.
Yeah. Like, I'm wondering, like, are kids even like, they're like here for it? I don't know. Maybe. I kind of hope not. Well, it's like they had an opportunity to make it like an animated movie or something, and then this is what we get. It's so weird. Yeah, you would think.
It's just like Minecraft story mode, right? That's like an animated thing. Yeah. I found the little bits of that I've seen, that looks very charming. Yeah, and I'm like, that looks fun. Looks good. But no.
We gotta go weird with it. Jack Black, Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa is just like, why? It's just so strange.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of movies I could shout out that I've been watching for sure, but just not enough time in the world. Go watch. You can watch my videos on my channel, Zach Archer TV. I'll be doing one like each month. I'm gonna try to, and then also Letterboxd. I have them all in there. But I will say Shrek 5, the cast announcement is out, baby.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's our main cast plus Zendaya.
Oh, that's damn.
Right, baby.
That's what the trailer said.
Damn, yeah.
The big controversy around that was that the characters all look wrong.
Yeah, look.
Everyone doesn't look right. It just looks wrong.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting because you always, once we went to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I was thinking like, what are we gonna do with Shrek 5? Because we made it so beautiful with The Last Wish, and just thinking of Shrek, it doesn't seem to lend itself to that kind of art style. But
and it's not like
this is what they came up with.
Yeah, because it's not like quite because The Last Wish is very stylized, but I will say like the other characters like I didn't Jack Horner I didn't think like looked off. Like there's nothing about him or his animation that looked wrong, but I guess he's designed for that world, that animation style.
Shrek
I guess
we've had
in
decades
Shrek,
of experience with.
we're very familiar with how he's
His
supposed to.
design.
He and Fiona look and what they're supposed to look like. Even Donkey looked wrong. Donkey looked bizarre. I don't know. It's just like very oddball.
My take is like I actually don't care if it comes out looking like that. I don't care. Like I think Shrek is one of those things where there's some really good Shrek movies, but I don't hold it as the standard to where like, oh, you can't ruin the sacred thing. I think Shrek by its nature is very memey, and I think we just if we go full on with a cursed Shrek look, it's like that could actually work. I don't know.
I just hope that it's not one of those, because another problem that people had with the little announcement trailer is that it was really leaning into Shrek as a meme thing.
They were looking at memes.
They were looking at like a TikTok memes or something. It was very bad.
Yeah.
That's what I really hope that they don't
Shrek
lean into that.
Self-aware in this one.
Don't acknowledge yourself don't acknowledge that. Like you can still be pop culture-y because that's part of who you are. Don't go as far as Shrek the Third. Don't lean into the meme side of things. Just stay in your lane, and you'll probably be a pretty solid little movie.
Yeah, what do you think we're gonna have them doing, like TikTok dances or something?
God, what? Don't even tempt the fates with that
Shrek,
one.
watch me, I'm dancing.
You're doing the floss.
Oh yeah.
Like that's like 15 years old now.
We
what are you doing that for?
Zendaya as Shrek's daughter. You know,
right.
We're still on the lookout for the others. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering. It's the cast reveal. Like I'm wondering,
Would Tom Holland? Is Tom Holland going to be one of the?
Are they just not? Are they nowhere to be found? Are they going to be other? You would think they would, if it was a cast reveal and they were big names, they would be there. So maybe they're irrelevant.
Maybe. Or they're dead. I don't know. Maybe the other twins are dead. I don't know. The triplets.
That would be cool.
That'd be epic. Yeah.
Well, also the question is, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. They teed off at the end, going to see some old friends, and if someone going to far away, like, are they going to come into the mix as well?
I don't know. Yeah,
Puss
maybe.
in Boots:
Maybe
The Last Wish crew.
Have to see.
Maybe. I'm just very curious. It's been a while for Shrek proper. 2010 was Shrek Forever After. Wow.
Shrek Forever After was 2010.
And then Puss in Boots 2011, and then Puss in Boots: The Last Wish 2022. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They're back, baby. At least we got our main cast. They come out of Cameron Diaz comes out of hiding every few years to play Fiona. And Mike Myers comes out.
He's just showing up. It's like the releasing of like Mariah Carey at Christmas, right? The Frozen.
So Shrek 5, I don't know what other, because we have these staples in the channel. We're gonna review Shrek 5 when that comes out.
100%.
And then a new Ghostbusters movie, we'll begrudgingly review that. It's.
Are there going to be more of those? I don't know. I don't know about that.
We thought it was going to be Marvel for a while, but we kind of fell off the wagon. So,
well, it's hard to stay consistent when they're dumping like tons and tons of time into
crypto
TV stuff.
Yeah, they're pump and dumping.
I was not what I you shocked me with that one. That was yeah. They're pumped up fun. That's what Marvel's doing right now. They're going there. They're dumping all that.
But we have a short list of like these movies come out. Let me see. Is there anything else I'm forgetting on the horizon here? We got the Until Dawn movies coming out in April. These are the movies we have lined up. Snow White remake, Minecraft movie, Until Dawn movie.
Yeah. Which
is destined to be mid.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got Lilo and Stitch live action remake. And then a month after that we have Elio, so that could be good actually.
Sure. Pixar.
We got.
I think before that I've talked about doing solo videos for so long. I've only done one the whole channel. But I want to do one where I think I'm going through, because I don't think as far as I'm aware, you have not seen every single Pixar film.
No, not everyone.
So I have, and I've been wanting to do this since I finished last year or maybe it was 2 years ago. Watched through all of the Pixar films, and I've wanted to do a tier list or something in regards to just like ranking all of them at the very least. So, yeah.
I'm due for rewatches on a lot of them too. Like the early Toy Stories. It's been a long time since I watched those. I remember looking at the list of them, and I had seen most of them except for like the weird and usually not very highly
The Good Dinosaur,
ones. The Good Dinosaur, Lightyear, Incredibles 2. You know, there's not many, but
right.
We also have Zootopia 2 later this year as well. Not
Weird
Pixar,
Years. Oh yeah,
that's good. That'll be good. I love Zootopia.
A great movie.
Hopefully it's good. That's when I always feel like there's more potential there, because just in that movie alone, there's so much like fun little things that the animals are doing in the city and how it works. Freakier Friday is coming out this year as well, and
so
we'll see.
if we're gonna review that, which are we gonna watch the 4 other versions of Freaky Friday first?
Well, it's tough because we were talking about we wanted to review the Naked Gun movies leading up to the Naked Gun remake. So if the Naked Gun remake does truly come out August 1st, we'd have to review the Naked Guns in July. And then Freakier Friday is slated for August 8th. So it's awkward. Unless we do the dual series, Naked Gun and Freaky Friday every week.
I think with Freaky Friday, I think we really just have to watch the 2003 one. Like I don't know if we need to watch the 50s one.
Well, we can just watch the new one then.
Yeah,
we could just watch the new.
Well, no,
one.
we should probably watch if we're gonna watch the newer one, we should probably at least review the one that this is technically a sequel to. So
maybe
because this is technically a sequel to.
I guess so. Yeah.
To the 2003 or 2004
I just love to do when I'm doing something. I'm go all in. I want to do all the Freaky Fridays. You know.
Yeah, because there's like a 50s one. There's a 90s one. I think there's like one in like the 80s or 90s or something.
Yeah.
And then the 2003 one, and then there was another new one, like not that long, like 10 years ago or something. There's a DCOM Freaky Friday that they did.
I don't know how readily available any of them are, but
I don't either. Sure. I'm assuming the first one and the last 2 are on Disney Plus, but I don't know about that weird middle one before the Lindsay Lohan one. So
we'll figure it out, and if these dates are correct, to confirm that too.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, those are the main movies that are slated. But we have those slated as well as we're picking a movie alternating every month, and we have our ongoing series: Chance Time, Pilot Palette, Bargain Bin.
Yep, got a lot going on here.
A lot going on. It's what it is. Survivor every week.
Right. That's right.
All right. Anything else you want to get into before we get a random segment in here?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm all set for right now.
All right, we got a wheel of random things, random topics.
The wheel of possibilities.
And we'll do a random one, and we'll see if it's a super short one or whatever. Maybe we'll do another. We'll see. The wheel has decided. Would you rather's? Let's look up some would you rather questions.
Would you rather?
Would you rather questions?
There was something I was just watching that was there's like an anime would you rather. It was really stupid that I watched.
If you want to pull up some as well, we can go back and forth on this. Really hit or miss. Would you rather? Some
would you
really bad.
rather?
Alec, would you rather communicate telepathically or know every single language on the planet? Seems like a pretty easy one.
Know every single language.
Every single language.
That's amazing. That'd be an incredible skill. Why would you pick telepathically? I mean, some people already kind of can do that. Weirdly, like not like actually do it, but they're able to like communicate through like eyes and like faces and stuff. I don't know. Would you rather buy 10 things you don't need every time you go shopping, or always forget the one thing that you need when you go to the store?
Ooh, that is such a good, compelling question. I love that. I guess I have to do the 10 things I don't need, because then that means I can never go to the store for anything. If I pick the other option, I have to always forget the thing I actually need every time. Damn.
It's gonna, yeah. I already do that second one way more often than I'd like. So and I do already do the 10 things I don't need every time I go shopping. So I'm gonna pick that one.
It's you, a man who does both.
I'm a man who does both, so I would rather do the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
Because at least I'm getting what I need in that.
There's a possibility that you get what you need.
Right.
Would you rather only watch one single movie for the rest of your life, or only eat the same food for the rest of your life?
That's actually a lot harder than you might think.
Well, here's the thing, because for me, a personal preference, I would have to do food, because like I'm just all in on the movies right now. There's no way I could just do one. But I'd probably die. Like, what food am I gonna eat? Only that food, and be okay for long term. I might just die.
In theory, it would be something that you would be able to sustain. For the sake of the fun of the question,
I don't think
it'd be
so.
Something that's sustainable.
I think it's maybe not, and you have to die.
Okay.
You have to. Well, you pick what food it is, but still, I can't imagine any food only eating that. What about you?
I'd want different food. I'd rather as much as I love movies and variety of movies, I have to have different variety of food. I don't know. I don't know. I do find myself falling back on standbys a lot of the time, though, when it comes to food.
And there's no movie that you'll be content watching forever. It's just the one movie.
Yeah, I think we'll pick the just same food, as long as there's enough to nourish me. Whatever, I'll just eat it. And doesn't say I have to eat it. It doesn't say I have to drink the same thing. To me that's somewhat more interesting, is finding different variety of things to drink. So, would you rather travel the world for free for a year, or have $50,000 to spend however you please?
It's kind of vague. Like, can I just go wherever I want for a year and just all expenses paid, or just the travel?
That's the thing. That's like, this is a terrible question, because it's like you need to specify, like, does that mean just transportation is covered?
Get to place and then you don't have any. Yeah.
Because some places food is actually kind of cheap in some parts of the world, so you might be okay on some of that.
Because you could do some good traveling with $50,000. You would have to really be free reign to just travel all over the place, all expenses paid, to make it worth it.
Yeah.
And also, like, something to offset not making money as well.
Right, exactly.
You need some sort of arrangement here. Would you rather live 1,000-year life, or 10 100-year lives?
I mean, would I have any memory of the 10 lives?
These are the details they don't give you.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I
will tell you this. I definitely do not want to live 1,000-year life. I'm okay with that. I do not want to do that. I played Lost Odyssey. Living 1,000 years, really not all it's cracked up to be. Seems like it's actually pretty horrible in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I hear you. We've all been there.
we've all played Lost Odyssey. We've all felt the same thing.
No, I haven't. You got me it, but
it's actually more than 1,000. They're actually 10,000. But
wow. But that's the thing with these questions. I have a book of Would You Rathers that I bought not too long ago that I've been holding just in case, like, we could do a video on it or something.
Actually, maybe it is only 1,000. Yeah. Anyway,
I've been holding it just in case we do video on them sometime. But there is, like, actually, because it's like 1,000 Would You Rather questions or something, or even like more than that. And it's exactly what you'd expect when you ask someone to make thousands of Would You Rather questions. It just devolves into horrible, like, not thought out prompts at all, and I think it's really funny. Would you rather wear my underwear or go commando?
Commando.
That's a question for couples, apparently, but.
Would you rather eat only pizza for a year or not eat any pizza for 5 years?
Not eat any pizza for 5 years.
You'd rather
You
not eat any
gotta.
pizza for 5 years?
Yeah,
Well,
only for a year is crazy.
only pizza for a year is kind of
That would
insane.
get old after day 4.
Yeah, I
Or
knew somebody
365.
that. Oh, you'd have like the worst. You'd have some of the worst digestion issues after that. It'd be horrible.
Yeah, and I love
Yeah,
pizza.
it would have to be. Hey, look, I love pizza. Don't get me wrong. It's probably like at least a top 10 food for me. But like, man, I can go without. I can do it.
Put any food in that
It
spot, and you're
sucks,
not
but
going to
like,
say yes
yeah,
to eating only that for a year.
that's the thing with variety, man. I can take even though I just answered that other question that I'd rather eat the same food for whatever for the rest of my life or something rather than watch the same movie for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I mean pizza is just a very like it's a very fattening food. You could probably get some like less than, pizzas, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah. The variety would be in the toppings, and you would run out of toppings within a couple weeks as well. So
yeah. So
a year is crazy.
there was somebody that I knew. There's some people that I knew that they only ate pizza. That was straight up a thing. Like he only ate.
Is
He
it
only
past
ate
tense
pizza.
because they're dead now?
No, I think he got married and learned to eat more than just pizza.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful story.
Yeah,
Think
it is kind of
if you
beautiful. It
eat
comes down to
pizza
it.
for a whole year, think of how many different ways you could hold the pizza when you eat it too. Fold it, hold it
Bring a
up, bring it
plate
up
up
to
to
your
your mouth
mouth,
with a plate.
flip it upside down. I
Yeah.
don't know, you could do some all sorts of freaky stuff with it. Dip that shit in ranch, even more crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
Go
Very
for a
true.
white pizza. Yeah.
Okay, did you use white sauce on that?
Yeah, no sauce. No sauce on the
My
pizza.
my phone died, so I don't have any. I don't have any other. Would you rather's?
Well, I'll end it with this. Would you rather have people come to you for practical or sage advice? Really makes you think.
Probably practical. I feel like I am the one that needs to go to people for sage advice most of the time.
I know. Practical.
Yeah.
Okay, one more. Would you rather get a kiss every day or a hug every day? Do you get like any say in where they come from?
That's the thing. That's the big kicker right there, right?
Like it's just like a prophecy, or it's like a magical thing where it's like you will be kissed today. You don't know when or by whom.
I don't
You
really
will
get
be.
tons of either.
Sag.
Yeah, a little bit.
Would you welcome random kisses unprompted through unexpectedly every day?
That's a little strange. Probably not.
Because I think they're intended to ask a couple of that question, but it's funny to think.
Yeah.
If you're not in a relationship, would you rather just get a kiss or a hug received every day?
I mean, kissing's great. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's fantastic. But like, it'd have to be with a specific person in mind. It's like it's got to be with somebody, or it's like I guess I don't know if I'm seeing multiple attractive people and they decide to. I wouldn't. I'm not going to say no to that. I guess, but
To me, how to say
at the same time, probably a hug. Probably hugs. Hugs are nice.
It's safer.
It's safer.
It's safer when you get these unexpected kisses from all sorts of mouths. Any day,
like, man.
And every day you're living in fear. You'll start living in fear of where the kiss is coming from.
Yeah, where is it coming from?
It's like a hypothetical thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
It's like a curse. You know you will be kissed by the end of the day, every day. And you start getting real concerned when you're like, you haven't gotten a kiss and you're laying down in your bed at the end of the night. Well, what's gonna
What's
happen?
going on? What's gonna happen now? Who's coming in? Who's coming? Who's just gonna bust down my door?
Yeah, we get trauma from that, I think, actually.
Probably.
Hugs? Do you think the same applies for hugs, though? Would you be traumatized by that?
Probably not, because you could probably see a lot of those coming.
It's not
You could
too
probably
much, you know.
yeah
Like, you can hug
like a
a
hug is like
stranger. Like, I don't have a problem
yeah
hugging a stranger. So,
yeah
alright.
yeah kissing strangers is that's
Kissing.
that's
Do
weird.
kissing booths actually exist? You always
I've
see
never
them in
heard of
those
one.
old movies. Like, it was like usually like high school, like
Kissing
girls.
booth. There's also that horrible movie with the nepo baby in it. It's called The Kissing Booth or
Uh-huh.
whatever. So,
I
um,
just always wonder if that's a real thing.
I've literally never heard of them outside of a movie. So no, I'm convinced that
What
they're not
about
real.
what about car washes where the girls they tie up their shirt? Like, I'll skip you
Those
there.
are 100% a thing, or they
Okay,
were. I probably not anymore, but they definitely were.
you saw them too. You saw
Mm-hmm.
them. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, those do not exist anymore. So
Now they just got normal ass car washes.
yeah, now you just go through and you press a button and you go through.
Now you don't. Your car doesn't even have to be there anymore. Now they just send it digitally. It's
You have
crazy.
ordered a digital car wash.
All right, that's it for Would You Rather. Let's try another one. See if we get another quick one in here. Media that has broken us. No spoilers.
Um,
Let's not get into too much detail here. Let's not start getting emotional. The Telltale's The Walking Dead. As far as video games are, that one always got me. Movies, I'm pretty quick to. If it's a good, powerful movie, I'm usually gonna get the tears. The most recent one was The Whale for me. That one definitely broke me. That was really good.
yeah, I mean, like I've talked. I mean, I've talked about it a few times on this where it's like it doesn't. For me, it's like certain things in movies will get me, even if the movie's like maybe not amazing or incredible or anything. But sometimes just like a little thing can sometimes like really like flip a switch and bring me to tears. I mean, like anytime in I will say like some recent examples for it. Like a recent example for me that I think of was actually Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Few times actually playing it. Anything that goes on with Barrett and Marlene in like remake and Rebirth, I'm just like I'm done. I'm like I wholesome dads with their kids is like I'm like getting to the age where I'm getting a little older and I want kids. I don't have any prospects in that regard. But like anything with any of that stuff just like hits me like a truck. I just get like really like emotional when it comes
Hmm.
to stuff with that. And so that I mean Rebirth in general has got like a lot of really great emotional beats in general. But yeah, anything with like any film that has any sort of like wholesome moments between like a parent and a kid in a sort of regard like that. I'm trying to think of anything else. Um,
I watched a documentary about Robin Williams and like the
ooh, yeah.
timeline leading up to his death. That was
Mm,
that was tough. It's called
mm,
Robin's Wish. You can watch it on YouTube.
mm.
Robin Williams, that gets me. Robin Williams was like
Yeah,
the one that had the most effect on me, like of any celebrity I've heard of passing. Usually I'm like, okay, it doesn't affect me on a super visceral level, but I always remember when I heard that news.
yeah. That was yeah. I was talking. I remember talking to our, my friend Dubs. I remember talking to him about it when all that news broke down. Because I was working at a camp at one point. I remember it was like I don't remember if it's right when I got the news or if we were just talking about it in general. But I remember like having a big conversation with him, talking about that whole situation and everything. So certain music will get me that way. I was actually just listening to one of the, so it's still regarded Final Fantasy, man, that gets me right in the heart. The arranged version on one of the Distant Worlds Orchestra albums of one of the themes from Final Fantasy V, which is a game that I haven't even beaten 5, and my feelings towards it are kind of in the, I like it. I don't think it's not like one of my higher tier Final Fantasy games. I don't think the story is all that interesting, but it is mechanically a very good game, and there's a lot of stuff that I like about it. And I don't even think the music is like hugely amazing in that game either. But there are like that. There's like that track. It's called Home Sweet Home, and then there's like a little in the arrangement of it. They also do it's Home Sweet Home and also the music box. And something breaks in my brain when I start hearing that music box. Because like again, I don't even have like that big nostalgia for that game or anything like that. But it's just there's something about it that just like really just brings me back to a certain period of time in my life, and it wasn't even when I was playing the game. So I don't know. It's always interesting, like, because like smells are one of those things that like bring a lot of people back. I know that sense of smell is like a really good like memory, sort of like I don't memory
inducer
prompt, something like that. Music for me is another really big one. Like when I hear a track, I'm like, I know, like brings me back to just a certain period of time. It's strange for that one because like where I first heard that track that's not even where that's not even where I go when I hear it. So it's like a very unspecified time where I go when I hear that. Like it's sort of hard to describe, but it's good. It's good music.
I'll say it's hard for me to get super emotional with music unless I'm already emotional and I'm listening to music to kind of just let it out. But the one that's affected me the most was, Us the Duo.
I'm not very familiar with them. No,
it was
I've heard of
couple that did music. They did a song. The most popular one was "No Matter Where You Are," which is what they did in their wedding, for their wedding vows and everything. That was in the movie the Book of Life. It was in there randomly.
Oh, okay.
But so I really liked their music, but then they broke up like last year.
No.
And Michael Alvarado, who's the guy in that couple, he did an album or like an EP called The 5 Stages, which is like him writing and making music about his process of like grieving the relationship. Essentially, it was like she like broke up with him one day, and he'd already had like a studio rented out to make music that was gonna be like their music they were working on together. So he was like, well, I already have it rented out, so I'll just use it to write my own music. And It was like the most raw stuff, and actually really impressive musically, actually, too. It was a surprise, or something he just whipped up in a weekend spontaneously. So that was the most visceral effect I've had listening to something. It was just bawling, and often I'll just bawl listening to that. It's like, especially when you're in a relationship at the time, it just hits different.
Yeah. Seeing Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, that was pretty emotional. Music that I was very familiar with in my youth, so getting to see that on Broadway was pretty amazing. But additional sort of similar track the last piece of music in the musical Company, at least the version of it I like to listen to, is just like, yeah, that movie that song hits pretty hard. Um,
And just TV series like dramas, like super character driven dramas, those are the ones that I really like the most. Like your Lost or Walking Dead's, like those are definitely they have moments that really get me. But
okay, the ending, not the very very ending, but there are scenes in the last couple of episodes of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood that I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done.
that's the series that I'm watching now too.
Oh really? Okay. Yeah. The last couple episodes on that, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. There's another one that I had like right at the tip of my tongue, but I don't remember.
The beginning, middle, and end of the live action Pinocchio was really moved me to tears. It was powerful.
It broke my brain, I'll tell you that.
Broke us. The media that broke us. Yeah. Alien Origin, that actually broke me. I couldn't function anymore with it.
There was another. Oh no, there was just like another. There's some other thing that I was just thinking about. Oh, the Tales of Ba Sing Se episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh.
And anyone who's seen it knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, there's. I think those are like I talk about this now, that those are the most things I look for in like movies that I really like. The ones that really are above a lot of other ones, or ones that are just actually make you feel strong emotions. I just really like it now. Now I'm like, I'm happier if a movie's made me cry by the end of it than if I don't feel anything, you know.
Sure.
It's like,
yeah,
it's cool. It's cool. It's just what art can do. Video games, it's a lot harder for me to cry from video games. It's very rare.
Yeah.
It had to be super narrative based game.
Yeah.
Like Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So it's a rarity.
Final Fantasy gets me. That's the one thing with me. I don't remember if I played a Tales. I think Tales of the Abyss. I think there were some moments towards the end where I got. Oh, we mentioned it. I mentioned it earlier in this episode. Lost Odyssey, the ending of that game. I was like, that's like 15 minutes of cutscenes, and I was crying the whole way through the whole game, the whole ending of the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the only ones that really stick out to me are literally The Walking Dead and The Walking Dead Season 2. They both have emotional moments.
Well, yeah, I remember The Walking Dead. I remember playing The Walking Dead around when it came out, and I remember my housemate, not my housemate, a roommate at the time, watching me play it, and I remember there was a moment where it was in episode 3, and yeah, it was like I was playing it, and I think it was kind of like late at night, and it's my friend Tara, actually I went to the concert with, and I remember it was just like playing it, and she'd already played it, and she's like, yeah, I know what's coming, and I did not hear from her the whole rest of the night. She like moved over and like, I don't know, went under the covers, and I never didn't hear from them again. So yeah. Wow. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, that season 1 was really good. I wanna play through those all.
I know. Yeah. I'm literally
I've only played the first season, so.
You played the first 2. I mean, the third one is the one I've been saying the past couple of years. I want to finish it so I can go to the final one. And I want to play all the Telltale games. But I've been watching a channel that's been doing a playthrough of it that I really like. That's kind of got me like jazzed to play them again. So once we're through with the challenge and stuff, I might try to get in on that. But it's a really cool channel called Bad Medicine, BADD Medicine. They do movie reactions and stuff, which are really cool. It's like 4 like kind of bros. Like one dude is like super bulked up, but they'll just like be watching movies, and they'll laugh and get emotional. It's like kind of refreshing to see. They'll watch the animated movies or whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, but then they also have like Bad Medicine Arcade, I think it's called, which they're doing games mostly in that kind of vein, like narrative games. So that's cool too, because they treat it similar to like Reaction, but they pass the controller around throughout. It's cool. But yeah, so I want to play those again. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Also, got to shout out Katawa Shoujo and Final Fantasy 13. Again, more Final Fantasy, but yeah, Katawa Shoujo is one of those games I want to go back to at some point here too. But it's not gonna hit the same. I'm at a different point in my life, but I'm sure I'll still get emotional playing it, reading it.
I hear you. Let's say we get into our reflecting on the last couple months and reading the comments.
Let's go for it.
All right, so a little tradition we did once we were doing the monthly. We would look back in the month of videos, say what's our favorite or standout. It's a lot more now. We've got 27 videos since the last podcast. So I'll rattle them off real quick.
No, we don't need to do that. Oh. Okay, well, you can if you want.
That's what I always do.
Okay, do it. Tradition.
Survivor Gabon, Episode 7. Can't keep it up. Baby Shark's Big Movie Review, chance time. The 2024 Blastia Awards. Survivor Gabon, Episode 8, No Bag. Anora Review, ranking everything we've ever reviewed, 2025 update. Survivor Gabon, Episode 9, Cookie Gate. The Last Game Standing Gents Challenge with Blinkoom. Survivor Gabon, Episode 11, Operation Fake Idol 2. The Pilot Palette Next Departure, February 2025. The Perks of Being a Wallflower Review. Survivor Gabon, Episode 12, The Good Guys. Luva de Pedrero, Viral Moves. Pilot Palette. Survivor Gabon, Episode 13, Finale. Survivor Gabon, Episode 14, Reunion. DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing Review with Rusty. Tarqaron Mad Lib 6, Lando Pounds Han. Survivor Gabon Review. Bargain Bin, March 2025. Ranking Survivor Gabon, Season Winner and Cast. Guess the movie based on the Letterboxd Review. Survivor Tocantins Preview and Predictions. Lost in Random, Bargain Bin. Survivor Tocantins Episode 1, Renaissance Man. The Review Show, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Survivor Tocantins Episode 2.
Crazy. Lots of content. All that. Hours of fun.
Does one of those stand out as a highlight?
I mean, the Blastia Awards.
The Blastia Awards, okay.
Yeah. Baby Shark's Big Movie.
Baby Shark's Big Movie, of course.
Yeah, classic.
It was fun. It was a very long video going through the Gents Challenge with Blink, getting the reactions.
Oh, yeah.
All of them.
Very good stuff, yeah.
It's party time. Some fun stuff in here.
That already feels like a lifetime ago that we played this.
Yeah. That's in the past. You'll never touch it again.
Probably not.
It'll be in the history books of Tarqaron.
Yeah. Except for maybe some trophies. I don't know. We'll see.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with myself.
Yeah. See, those are the standouts. Wrapping up Survivor Gabon, it was always cool. Going through the review, I thought the review was really good.
Fun time indeed.
All right, now let's say we read some comments. Some comments from the viewers.
What say you? I say yay.
All right, so this is a comment from the Tarqaron Podcast, Episode 18, New Year 2025. R.E. Louis says, always look forward to these Tarqaron Podcast episodes, no matter what cadence they release. These backlog challenges are amazing. I really think the best way to tackle your backlog is to gamify it, and even better when you can create a challenge out of it as well. You guys are really speaking to me directly with these specific games. Walking Dead, Hogwarts Legacy, Final Fantasy 16, Yooka-Laylee. What is going on here? Now I'm really going to be disappointed if you guys don't play these games this year. LOL, I'm not worried about how you feel about them, just excited that you plan to play them. Should make for some fun discussion. Maybe you guys could do quarterly or at least a mid-year check-in on the progress. Aragorn is the best of us. Love that story from Alec. Excellent episode, Gents.
Story about Aragorn?
Oh, no.
Tarqaron is the best. I'm trying to remember what that is. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it kind of naturally works in. We talked about it already. We could just, whenever we do a podcast, if we continue to do them like every couple months, it could be our progress points up until throughout the challenge. But yeah. Well, he'll be disappointed if we don't play these. We got to get started. The year's already underway.
Yeah, I know. I think a mid-year checkup is not a bad idea. I mean, technically, this is almost a quarter-year checkup, which is
that's what I'm
crazy
saying.
to think
Like,
about. But,
you almost could just work it into these if we keep doing them.
Yeah. But very nice, very kind words. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mean to craft my list that way. Ukulele maybe was a little bit of a nod to Rusty, but again, that was because I was talking to my friend Dubs, and he was like, I hated it. It was so frustrating. And then I talked to some other friends, and they were very similar to him. They were like, yeah, I found it really frustrating, and I put it down after like a couple worlds. So I was like, all right, that's like the perspective that I remember hearing when the game came out, and then like hearing that compared to some other people who were more positive on it, like our friend Rusty. I'm like, okay, I want to kind of figure out where I lie in this mix here. Having played through and platinum trophied Balan Wonderworld, I feel like I feel like I have a pretty good perspective on this.
Yeah, now it's just a question of where will we actually play them? These games that you brought up during this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is the question.
Now, I read this at one point. I read it to you at least. I don't know if I read it on the channel. But it's worth noting, Baby Shark's big movie review that so many Oreos commented, yeah, Daddy Shark's kind of a cuck, and I don't really understand is exactly the kind of content I hope for in this channel. Keep up the good work, boys. Absolutely.
That's Dubs.
and Daddy Shark was not a cuck, and we need to stop putting that on Daddy Shark.
No, he was a simp more than anything, not a cuck, really. Yeah.
And so Ari Louie, he commented, we got a bit of his take on our DreamWorks All Stars review. He said it at the end, but on our Mufasa The Lion King review, since we originally wanted him to be a part of it, he was there for the Lion King 2019 review years ago.
Yep.
He said, I finally got around to see the movie this weekend, and I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. Honestly, as I watched, I found myself enjoying it more than the 2019 remake. Completely agree that the characters were much more expressive, overall animation and fighting sequences looked smoother and more natural. I would also agree that it would have been better as an animated film, but Disney's going to keep riding out this live-action money train as long as they can. LOL, it's only
technically a matter of time. Technically, it was an animated film.
Animated to not look animated. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's only a matter of time before Lion King 2 live action is announced, which I wouldn't mind because I love the original. It's never happening, Rusty. Give it up.
Yeah, he's he's talked about that a lot. I know. I think I remember watching it when I was a kid, and I remember being like, thinking it was like, yeah, it was fine or whatever, and then I promptly forgot everything about it. Until then, I heard people like bringing up stuff about it again, like in the last like 10, 15 years or so, and I was like, oh, the people that were like really into that are like, they're either rusty and they're kind of wholesome, or people are like maybe a little too into Lion King 2, if you know what I'm saying. I see people. We'll just say there's people in a couple different camps that really enjoy that movie. So.
He says, some additional criticisms I have. I didn't like the flashbacks to Timon and Pumbaa at all. I get it, the laughs are for the kids, but I wasn't a fan. I agree that Scar's transition felt immediate and not well earned. I saw the movie in 3D, and those GoPro line shots were a wild choice. I thought the music throughout the entire movie was awful, especially coming away from and compared to such an iconic and memorable soundtrack in the original, except for when themes from the original were woven in. Excellent review, gents. I wish I could have gotten out sooner to the theaters so I could have reviewed it with you.
My brother.
I always wanted a brother. Don't put your paws on my brother.
This is so bad. So bad.
It just hits.
No, it does not hit. It doesn't hit. It does not.
But yeah, we mentioned it on that video. Rusty's got an open invitation for any of the live action Disneys he wants to join us for. Originally, our mission statement was that it would be us three for all of them. It just became unrealistic as new ones came out, and it just didn't work sometimes schedule wise. So
schedule wise, and so we've been able to at least get a Lewis in here. We had Lauren for Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And
we'll give him a heads up whenever we're going to record another one, and if he wants to jump in, he always can.
Yep.
So we'll see. Hopefully, we can get him in for more.
Yeah. Snow White was not a possibility.
Well,
maybe for Lilo and Stitch.
Could be.
Maybe. Well, let's ask him.
I'm gonna
go see
ask
it this
him.
weekend?
Yeah, don't speak too soon.
Yeah.
All right. He also commented on the 2024 Blasty Awards. Always enjoying listening to the annual Blasty Awards, Gents. Wish I could have picked a better film for you guys to watch for Chance Time than Pumpkin Carver. But I'm glad I was still nominated for a few awards regardless. I also love the music that plays leading up to the winner being announced. Really nice touch. Yeah, did you watch my edit of it? You gotta watch it.
I don't know if I saw that. I'm not sure if I have seen. That's really
some awards music fun. As they're being unveiled.
That's awesome.
My brother Croneball Z commented, you replied to this comment. I'm with Alec on Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I saw it a second time and I've been watching lots of YouTuber reactions to it, and it's actually grown on me even more since the first time I saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sonic.
Yeah. No, because I think I saw commented, he's like, I saw it. I've seen it twice and it was even better the second time. So, or just as good, at least.
All of our comments are coming from Rusty this time. Feels like.
All right.
Lou,
Rusty, yay.
The Perks of Being a Wallflower review.
Mm.
He's the one who sent us The Perks of Being a Wallflower. So.
Right. So it makes sense that he should comment.
Excellent review, gents, and so happy to hear that you both enjoyed it. This is a top 10 movie for me for a lot of the reasons you guys talked about throughout the movie. I can really relate with a lot of Charlie's story, so when I first saw the movie when I was home from college over Christmas, it immediately struck me. I watched it with my dad, and the both of us just sat there and talked about the film for at least an hour afterwards. Then it was a movie that I introduced Lauren to on our first date, so it's special to me for a lot of different reasons. An all-timer ending, too, with Heroes playing by David Bowie. So freaking good. Thanks for watching and reviewing it.
Yeah, the ending is really is pretty awesome.
Chase Ferrier says that this is one of his favorite movies of all time, and I'm glad you guys watched and got to experience it. Some of the themes in this movie hit very close to me, and I revisit this movie quite a bit. Yeah, this one randomly some people got some eyes on this review.
Yeah, love that. I mean, I'm so glad I get to watch it. I get to experience it. That movie. It's a really good one. So.
Oh yeah, I was kind of skimming over Survivor. But I realized that once we did the review, these last couple episodes weren't up, so let me make sure there's nothing in here. On episode 12, The Good Guys, Brian Thomas said, at 9 minutes, Alec is spot on here with this take. Sugar's personality being so driven by her emotions interferes with her ability to play the game in a traditionally strategic sense. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good summation of why she's interesting. She's an interesting player. This is like, you never know what you're going to get. This is crazy.
Chase Ferrier on the finale said this episode is something. It's not necessarily a bad 2 hours of TV, but it's definitely a terrible episode of Survivor. Kenny tanks his game by making the immunity deal with Bob and then being so butthurt about it after he was going to take Bob out. Sugar once again makes an emotional decision and forces the fire, which sends Maddie home. Maddie wouldn't have been a great winner, but I still think he's the most satisfying win of the final four. I don't know about that satisfying, but
yeah.
Right. The final tribal of all three of them gave a performance that would have lost them the game in any other season of Survivor.
that's
Bob somehow wins in like IDK. This episode really brings the season down for me. Susie was 1 vote away from winning. Ridiculous.
That is kind of crazy to think about.
Queen behavior.
Total queen behavior.
Brian Thomas on the reunion episode, he said Michelle was definitely stoned out of her mind at the reunion. That's when Michelle started talking about having a dream of a termite with a Survivor buff coming in, like, chasing her down, saying he killed his mom, and got a really weird story in the mix there.
Something was going on there. substances, mind-altering substances.
So another comment worth noting is from Josh. He said, I figured I'd just ask again at the end of the season for you to add runner-ups to your tier list ranking. I think that could be fun. I don't know about
okay.
Because we already have so many ongoing tier lists, but maybe I was saying that it might be fun for like a one-off video and maybe update it every so often kind of thing. That could be a fun thing. Go through the runner-ups.
Okay.
That'd be fun. It's always fun because everybody always talks about the winner. You
right.
Don't really talk about
maybe the runner-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be interesting. Yeah.
Where do Sugar and Susie stack up against Amanda and Courtney and Amanda again
and Clay Jordan
and Clay Jordan
and Colby.
Yeah, there's a lot of iconic ones and there's some forgettable ones in the mix. So. Oh, also, I forgot. I commented this on the review because I didn't realize until after the fact. I said that Crystal was the MVP after telling up the MVPs, but I forgot to add in the finale MVP, which makes Crystal and Sugar tied for the MVP.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
A couple of people were saying they like the PowerPoint. New PowerPoint is cool. Should be able to do some cool stuff with it.
Great.
From Rogue Merc. Brandon said, love the new format of the PowerPoint, adding in the postseason stuff. Great job. Looking forward to Token Chains. Alright, so here's Chase Ferrier's superlatives. Pre-jury gem, Ace. Favorite player, Randy. Judy, Sugar. Overall, not my favorite season, but there are quite a few worse than Gabon, too.
Yeah.
All right. And then on our ranking Survivor Gabon list, here's Chase Ferrier's ranking according to our iconic love, great, good, meh, dislike, hate scale. Iconic, Randy, Corinne. Love, Ace. Great, Marcus, Charlie. He's so in on the Onion Alliance. He loves it. Come on, Chase. Marcus and Charlie above all of our favorites that have to show up.
Yes, yeah, seriously.
Good, Maddie and Sugar. Okay. Meh. Bob, Kenny, Dan, Susie, Paloma, Jackie, Michelle. Dislike, Crystal and Jillian. How dare you?
Wow.
Hate, Crystal GC hate. And Kelly. How dare you? How dare you with Crystal and dislike? This is obscene. He's like the one outlaw. He's like the one person I've ever heard who didn't like Crystal in this season. Like, you're an outlier, my friend.
Well, here's the thing.
We love you, Chase, but
substance abuse. All right, we're talking about substance abuse. Yeah. You know, she's not a gold medalist anymore. I'll just throw that out there and
don't hold that against her. We love you, Chase, but you also have All Stars as like your favorite season. Get the fuck out of here, my God.
I think I should ask my friend Kaylee what her favorite season is because I think All Stars is up for her too.
Don't say it. She might spoil something. She might say something.
She is kind of the I know I've talked with you. I don't know if I mentioned her much on the channel before. I know I've talked with you about her before. She's the one that I'm always like. She's more than my parents. She's the wild card. She's like I'll bring Survivor up every once in a while. I'm like, oh no, maybe I shouldn't bring that up around you because you'll just say something.
Don't ask her any favorite anything. Brian Thomas on our first episode of Survivor Token Chains, he says, Carolina has always stuck out to me among the first boots of Survivor because of her humility. Yeah, she was like, I agree. You know, I agree with. I did this wrong and that wrong.
I did it. Yeah, I screwed it up.
Mm-hmm. The Ninja Gamer 1 says, "What's a pace?" I don't have an answer for him. Sound off. You won't find it here. We have no fucking clue. Am I right?
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know what a pace is. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Appreciate all the comments.
Yeah.
I can't read all of them, but appreciate them all.
What's a pace?
I was trying to look I was surprised Chase didn't leave with all of his other stuff. He didn't leave a ranking. Usually there's an updated season ranking and winter ranking. I don't know if I missed that. Yeah, no updated rankings from Chase. You gotta hit us with the updated season and winter rankings here.
Need to know the details.
Where's Gabon in there? And where's Bob? Come on.
Where's Bob?
Where's Bob? That's the comments for this time around, folks. All right, thanks for commenting.
Where's Bob?
Always. You can comment anything, and we'll read it. And we'll read it and respond to it at our own discretion.
Mm-hmm.
But you can comment anything, and we'll see where it goes.
Just don't be one of the reply girls or whatever, you know.
You know it.
You remember that era of YouTube? You remember that era of YouTube?
Yeah, don't just latch on a video response on this.
Yeah. Just.
All right. Well, thank you for watching the Tarqaron podcast. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for more. Just like it. Like the video. Leave a comment. Letting us know your thoughts, and we'll read them a couple months from now, maybe, when we do another.
Yeah. When we do another episode. Yeah.
Any parting words? Sage advice.
Sage advice? Yeah. I mean, just like. Find, let us know down below what games, movies, music, what stuff you like to listen to, and have a nice, good. So every so often, it's good to have a good cry. So like,
is there a video?
Don't be afraid to.
I think someone's popping in a video game just to cry on it.
Sure,
you just pop in and you immediately just
you boot
it up and
do
it's
that.
just tears.
Yeah, I mean, just the start screen. Don't forget to if it's been a while, it might actually be helpful to do that. It's good release.
That's true.
So
that's why I'll go to some emotional songs or certain subject material if I want to cry.
Yeah.
To just push me to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can be good.
All right.
So yeah.
Good advice, as always. He always ends the episode with sage advice.
Never done that before in my life.
All right. Well, as always, we got a ton planned on the channel. Lots of content on the way. Survivor every week. A bunch of movie reviews. Some really weird shit we're gonna get into in the next couple months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, I believe you. I'm along for the ride. I trust.
All right. Take care of yourself.